Yo, what's going on, people? Ear infection, Yan, in your ears.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy talk. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Yes, friends, what's happening? I am still sick, so send me your prayers. But I'm here for you, mate. Dear sweet viewer of Football Therapy, the YouTube channel that delves deep into everything Chelsea. Today, there's actually loads of talk about Pochettino. There was a new article out on The Athletic by Simon Johnson, kind of reiterating what everyone has already said about the good, the bad, stuff that I've spoken about at length this season, but also a lot lately. There's a headline going around from like the, social media aggregators that a source close to The Athletic and close to Chelsea, that of course will always remain anonymous, said there's been underwhelming training methods, which is like one of the negatives, and obviously that's made headlines like Pochettino's got poor training methods. I have a feeling that's not a new quote as well. That's maybe something being reiterated or regurgitated. And this is obviously from people from Chelsea, but going off the recent sample size, Chelsea have scored loads of goals and are keeping clean sheets. You could talk about training methods in relation to fitness. Of course, we've got loads of injuries, that maybe that's a contributing factor. But this is kind of stuff that ultimately we will leave up to the sporting directors, and the owners to assess in the summer. Again, these articles will come out. People will talk Poch in, Poch out, all the way to the end. But until we're at the end, 3 games to go, of course, we will... we shouldn't really try and assess it. But in today's video, I want to talk about Šeško and Esteval Willian Messinho. Looks like we are going to sign him, and he could arrive at the same time as Kendrick Pires, which is very, very exciting. And yeah, man, lots to get into. So thank you for joining me as always. I always really value your support, and apologies if I'm a little bit slower than usual. I am super sick. I'm trying to recover and get through it. That's why I'm sitting at the desk still and not in the office, but I will return there when I'm feeling better. So thanks for your continued support. Many of you would have watched the, quite frankly, brilliant and hilarious game of Crystal Palace 4, Manchester United 0. It's great fun. Michael Olise doing flicks and loads of funny memes surfacing today. Of course, Olise and Eze roasting Casemiro. Casemiro looking like he... The world footballing media at large has retired Casemiro last night. You got Jamie Carragher on Monday Night Football saying he's just got to call it a day, which is amazing, really, because I worked out he's like 7.5 years-ish younger than Thiago Silva, and Thiago Silva's and he played centre-back. He played the Thiago Silva position yesterday, and it just shows how amazing Thiago Silva is to just still occupy that role with no issues. Yeah, we remain in front of Manchester United in the league now, despite playing the same amount of games. They've got harder fixtures than us. You'd sort of put the farm on Chelsea finishing above United now, which is great. And 7th could get Conference League football if Manchester United do not win the FA Cup. Now, they're playing Man City in the FA Cup final, and the way they just got absolutely... I know, granted, they didn't have Maguire... I know. And they didn't have Bruno Fernandes, but they just look so bad, bro, Manchester United, that you wouldn't give them a snowball's chance in hell to defeat this Manchester City side. I mean, if Man City lose to this United side in the FA Cup, they will, they need that woman with the shame bell from Game of Thrones to follow them around or lead them around going, shame. I mean, they won't. They'll absolutely obliterate them, which means Chelsea should qualify for Europe. I've sort of very much let my opinion be known that I would totally take Conference League. I just don't want to be out of European competitions for 2 seasons in a row. We've got loads of young players. I want young players to travel and play different cultured teams and this, that, and the other for their development. I think it's just important. So therefore, I think we should... I'd like the Conference League. I mean, obviously, I'd prefer the Europa League, more money, more prestige. But again, I know it's like lame, but... we haven't won the Conference League. I know it's a new competition and that's why, and it's not prestigious, but if we win it, if we qualify for it and win it next season, we'll be the first team to win everything, right? some prestige in that, man. I know you could say, well, we do, but if you're in it, you want to win it, and it's nice to complete the set, man. Like, why not? Why not? You know, Man City will tell you, well, we're never going to finish that low to qualify for it, and it's beneath us. Whatever. But if we qualify for it, I want to win it, and I'd be quite happy to win it because it's a new competition, and like I said, it would complete the set. So yeah, I do feel like with our fixtures, you know, in front of, I do wonder about Newcastle, because Newcastle have, obviously they're playing Man United. If they draw to Man United, but they've got such a better goal difference to us. We need them to lose and us to win out, really, for us to finish above Newcastle, looking at the 3 remaining fixtures. And we could win out. Obviously, that would be excellent optics, especially for Pochettino going into the summer assessment of his job. You know, if you won the final few games and kept scoring loads of goals and keeping clean sheets, I mean, the optics there would be very difficult to sack him, actually, unless they come out with like an amazing, because what's the replacement? I feel like many of you guys feel the same as me. If they just sack Pochettino to bring in Roberto De Zerbi, it would be massively underwhelming, especially should we finish the season strong. Everyone will have their own ideas, but if Hansi Flick, you know, Conte, Mourinho, Tuchel, all these people aren't coming to Chelsea. Amorim, you know, Ornstein, we said yesterday in the video that Amorim's not going to come. So that leaves you with like De Zerbi and some other like left field shouts. I did make a video a few weeks ago now speaking about how I'd like Thiago Motta should Pochettino get sacked. That since became a little bit more in vogue, just showing you how ahead of the game I am. Yeah, so let me know what you think about the qualification Pochettino. I didn't want to go too much into Poch, like the pros and cons. You know, usually I would have gone through the Athletic article, but it's stuff that I've spoken to you guys about before, and I don't want to go over it again. So yeah, just feel free to leave me your thoughts generally on that, and let's move on. Because we are going to cite an article from The Athletic in a moment on Estevao Willian in just a moment. I hope I'm saying that right. But quickly, Benjamin Sesko. Ben Jacobs spoke to Cy Phillips, confirming that Sesko is a target of Chelsea. Fabrizio Romano also has said this. He says, look, Chelsea aren't negotiating for Osimhen yet, though they like him, and he likes Chelsea. That's something we've spoken about on the channel at length here. But Benjamin Sesko's name has come up again from multiple people. Chelsea are looking at him. Now, he's a good player, Sesko. Of course, he's a centre forward. He's Slovenian, I believe. Yes, he's a right-footed striker who plays for RB Leipzig. Does he? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. The thing is, he's 20 years old and he scored 12 league goals this season, 29 appearances. We just don't need him. I mean, like, you guys, like, I defer to you guys here because I'm sure many of you have watched much more Benjamin Sesko than I have. But 29 appearances, 12 goals, 2 assists. I mean, that's just less of a return than Nico Jackson. I think Nico Jackson will play more games, but like, it's another young striker with like not an elite return, like, and the way Jackson is trending at the moment, unless we sound like an Osimhen, and I've seen many of you in the comments on social media saying, like, you know, do we need to drop over 100 million on Osimhen when Jackson's trending in the right direction and we're scoring loads of goals now? It's a question to be asked, but another 20-something-year-old striker to go with, you know, Breuer, Datro Fofana, Whisper, you know, Stutter, and all the other kids that we've got on the development team, and I spend loads of money on a 20-year-old that's got like a meh return from Germany. I mean, we spent money on players with loads of goals in Germany, like Havertz and Werner. Of course, Nkunku is one of those, but we haven't had a chance to look at him. And generally, like, I know we've seen Nkunku in just fleeting moments for Chelsea, but I think generally he's looked really, really good, Nkunku. So, and again, we've got Nkunku. He can play centre forward. Like, I don't know, man. I wanted to speak to you guys about it because he's come up yet again. Everyone's talking about Benjamin Sesko. Chelsea are really interested, says Romano, says Ben Jacobs. I'm sure David Ornstein will talk about that at some point as well. To me, it doesn't make much sense. Maybe it's just like he's just coming up in the data model. Like, we want this kind of shape of player. Ding, ding, ding. Sesko keeps popping up. Maybe he is different stylistically to Nico Jackson. Like I said, I haven't really watched him play. I'm just looking at the numbers. But for another, you know, young player like that, I don't know, just doesn't really seem for me. Let me know what you think. I might be wrong, so comment down below. Alright, hold on, I need to sneeze. Ugh. Sorry guys, I'm still super poorly. Liam Twomey and Mario Cortagana write on The Athletic, Chelsea are in talks with Palmeiras over a deal to sign the 17-year-old winger Willian Esteval, which of course is the young Messinho. Chelsea are confident of completing the transfer, which will see him move to the club after he turns 18, just before the summer of 2025. So that is Messinho and Paez both arriving in summer 2025 to Chelsea when they're 18. Palmeiras are prepared to accept an initial fixed amount of around 30 million euros. So this deal that was spoken about is correct. And of course, some add-ons as well. The Brazil club struck a similar structure with Real Madrid, of course, for Endrick. Similar money. And remember, the Palmeiras coach is saying he's never seen anyone like, Esteval Willian. And he just sold Endrick. I know Endrick's a centre forward and this kid's a winger. But pretty amazing, pretty exciting indeed. Madrid also received reports on Esteval, but the relationship between chief scout Juni something and the player's agent made the deal difficult. So Chelsea's benefit there. So he's nicknamed Messinho in his native Brazil, and he is and made his first team debut for Palmeiras last season, playing alongside Madrid-bound Endrick. Cool. So very, very talented and exciting young player. Go and watch his highlights. He's kind of like Kendry Páez in that sense. Kendry Páez is an attacking midfielder. Messinho, let's call him, is a right-sided attacker who's left-footed, which makes you think, what? Another one. Of course, we've got the two guys starting at the moment in Palmer and Noni Madueke, and they both probably should be starting at right wing, but we're putting Palmer in the number 10 at the moment, which is working, of course, in Enzo's absence. It's just working generally. Let's not even talk about Enzo for the moment. But it's another right-sided, left-footed attacker. So you got Madueke, you got Palmer, you got Gabriel Angelo, you got Amari Hutchison. Obviously we're going to sell some of these kids. I know Amari's talking about making it at Chelsea. Let's loan him again to Ipswich in the Premier League. Surely that's not a foregone conclusion, but the most obvious thing that we should do. Loan him back to the club, where he's just won Young Player of the Year, by the way, for them. So he should go back there because he's settled. That would be an amazing loan for him. If we get a new coach, people like Angelo would get a pre-season with the new coach. I'm not saying we should. I'm very much at the moment stay with Poch unless it tails off. I know it's summer 2025 and that's like another season away, but I just, where's this plan going? Like we're just stockpiling front right-sided left-footed attackers. I'm not complaining. If this kid is as generational as they say, then superb. I think I may be wrong actually, but I think Kendry Páez is left-footed as well, which is just, it's peculiar how we're just going for this one profile of young attacker, like loads of them. But still, if they are going to prove to be excellent investments, and it might sound cynical if we do just sell them on for 50, 60, 70 million, and you'd be thinking, well, what's the point? The point is making money, and actually it's intelligent and good business. So ultimately, it will reflect a good buy. But yeah, I'll put it out to you guys. So what do you think, fellas? Like I said, I'm feeling really poorly of late, so the videos are shorter, but when I feel better, things will be back to usual. But yeah, I didn't want to stop bringing you guys content because I love you very much. And if you love me too, like and subscribe. Alright, friends, take care. Peace.